Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you are liking the videos that I am sending you on the topic Language of Chemistry. This is the sixth lecture on this topic. In the previous classes, we have done the first three characteristics of chemical reaction, that is evolution of gas, change in color, change in temperature. Now today we will start with formation of precipitate. When a colorless solution of lead nitrate is added to a colorless solution of potassium iodide, a yellow solid called a precipitate is instantly produced. A precipitate is a solid product that forms from a reaction and settles out of a liquid mixture. The formation of a precipitate is an indication of a chemical reaction. Now, here I perform an experiment to show you the formation of precipitate during a chemical reaction. First thing I have taken is lead nitrate. You can see it's written in the bottle. The second thing I have taken is potassium iodide. Potassium iodide is colorless. Now, lead nitrate is a white color powder. Have a look. Now, I add lead nitrate to the test tube. With the help of a dropper, I take potassium iodide and drop-wise I add it to the test tube. Wow, a beautiful yellow color precipitate is formed. This indicates that a chemical reaction has taken place. The precipitate is the insoluble product formed. The other product formed is potassium nitrate. It is colorless and it is soluble. Now we write down the chemical reaction. PbNO3 whole twice plus 2Ki gives you PbI2 and you can see a downward arrow. That indicates formation of precipitate plus 2KNO3. The second example that we take is that of silver nitrate and sodium chloride. They react together to form white color precipitate of silver chloride. This is highly insoluble in water, along with the formation of sodium nitrate. Here I have taken sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is the common salt that we use in our home. Silver nitrate, dropper, spatula, test tube stand and test tube. With the help of spatula, I take some amount of sodium chloride. Have a look at sodium chloride. It is white crystalline solid. I add it to the test tube. With the dropper, I take some amount of silver nitrate and add to the test tube dropwise. Some change is taking place. You can observe a white color precipitate is formed. This white color precipitate is due to insoluble silver chloride. We write down the chemical reaction. Sodium chloride plus silver nitrate gives you insoluble silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate is soluble and does not have any color. The third precipitation reaction that we are going to see today is between ferrous sulfate and sodium hydroxide. Ferrous sulfate is light green in color. Have a look at ferrous sulfate. It is light green, crystalline in nature. We start the experiment. We take ferrous sulfate. You can see ferrous sulfate is written on the bottle. And sodium hydroxide. It is colorless, clear liquid. I have taken spatula, a dropper, test tube and test tube stand. I have already shown you how ferrous sulfate looks like. In the spatula, I take some amount of ferrous sulfate. You can have a look again. Although it is not very clear here, it's crystalline in nature. We add ferrous sulfate to the test tube. Some more ferrous sulfate to the test tube. This light green color resembles that of pista green. You can call it pista green also. To it, I add sodium hydroxide dropwise and see the color change. A precipitate is formed which is dirty green in color. Now the chemical reaction, ferrous sulfate FeSO4 plus 2NaOH forms FeOH whole twice, an insoluble precipitate, and sodium sulfate. The fourth example is that of barium chloride. Barium chloride is a salt of barium that reacts with sulfuric acid to form barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. This is also a precipitation reaction, and barium sulfate forms a white curdy precipitate. Also, hydrochloric acid is formed. Let's start with the experiment. Here I have taken sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid, and barium chloride. Spatula, dropper, test tube stand. With the help of spatula, I take some amount of barium chloride. Now barium chloride is white, shiny, crystalline in nature. I add barium chloride to the test tube. With the dropper, I add few drops of sulfuric acid to barium chloride crystals. Observe the changes. A curdy white precipitate is formed. Now this precipitate is different from the precipitate formed by silver chloride. Now let's write down the balanced chemical equation for the experiment, for the chemical reaction. BaCl2, that is barium chloride, H2SO4, sulfuric acid react to form products barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. Barium sulfate is insoluble precipitate. Students, you must note here, the evolution of a gas is represented by an upward directed arrow, and the formation of a precipitate in a chemical reaction is shown by an arrow pointing downwards. Having done enough examples on formation of a precipitate, now we go to the next characteristic of a chemical reaction, that is change in state. Students, you already know that molecules present in the solid are in the state of slow vibration. These particles absorb heat energy and use this energy for vigorous vibrations of the molecules. As the energy absorbed increases, the vibrations also increases, resulting in the breaking of some of their bonds. When the bonds break, the change of state takes place and solid melts to a liquid. During vaporization, the absorbed energy is utilized to increase the molecular distance between the molecules. When ammonia gas reacts with hydrogen chloride gas, it forms dense white fumes of ammonium chloride. These dense white fumes represents the solid state of matter. So you can see the change in state has taken place before and after the reaction. This reaction is often used as a test to detect the presence of ammonia gas. Ammonia NH3 in gaseous state plus HCl also in gaseous state react to form NH4Cl, ammonium chloride, that is in solid state. Next example is when red hot carbon in solid state is treated with sulfur vapors, then it forms carbon disulfide, which is in liquid state. So the chemical reaction is C, carbon in solid state, plus S, sulfur in gaseous state, forms liquid carbon disulfide. We are now left with the last characteristics of chemical reaction, that is generation of smell. Some chemical reactions form products which have distinctive smell. For example, when hydrogen gas is bubbled through molten sulfur, it forms a colorless gas called hydrogen sulfide gas. This gas smells like rotten eggs. Let's write down the last reaction for the day, that is H2 hydrogen plus sulfur gives you hydrogen sulfide. This is all for today. See you in the next video when we will be dealing with conditions necessary for chemical reaction. Thank you. Have a nice day.